Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced his resignation as the leader of the ruling Labour Party, a move that will also see him replaced as the country's leader, CBS News reports. Starmer had faced mounting pressure to step down for weeks following a disastrous round of local elections in early May. His position became untenable after former Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham, a prominent political rival from within the Labour Party, won a parliamentary seat and made it clear he would challenge Starmer for the leadership. In a statement outside 10 Downing Street, Starmer acknowledged his party's doubts about his leadership and accepted them with grace. He vowed to give his successor full support. Burnham, widely known as the King of the North, is tipped as Starmer's likely successor. Under the UK political system, Labour can choose its next leader by consensus or through an internal election, meaning Starmer could be replaced as Prime Minister as early as July or by September. Following the announcement, former U.S. President Donald Trump criticized Starmer's policies on immigration and energy on social media. According to DW, Romanian President Nicusor has plunged the country into a deeper political crisis by nominating Adrian Vestea as the new prime minister, without consulting the parties in parliament, a move critics argue violates the country's constitution and democratic norms. Vestea, a member of the National Liberal Party, PNL, was nominated without the knowledge of PNL leadership, prompting interim Prime Minister Ely Balojan to denounce the decision as a hostile attempt to divide the party. Romania has faced intense political instability since its governing coalition collapsed 2 months ago. President Dan, a former anti-corruption activist elected on a pro-European and reformist platform, is reportedly trying to form a pro-EU government at all costs to prevent early elections, which could result in a landslide victory for surging far-right parties. However, political analysts and commentators accuse the president of abandoning his democratic principles to achieve political expedience, leaving many of his former supporters disillusioned. According to JJ Press, Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara denied on Sunday that his country seeks to intervene militarily in Lebanon, where Israel and Hezbollah have been at war. His comments came in response to remarks by U.S. President Donald Trump, who repeatedly suggested that Damascus could step in to handle Hezbollah if Israel is unable to do so. Shara clarified that Syria is looking to build economic and political relations with Lebanon, rather than pursue military channels. He emphasized that the security and stability of Lebanon are directly linked to Syria's own stability, but any positive Syrian involvement would depend on Lebanon's agreement. The new Syrian administration, which took power after toppling Bashar al-Assad in 2024, remains hostile toward Hezbollah, which had previously fought alongside the Assad regime. While Syria has a history of long-term military presence in Lebanon from 1975 to 2005, Shara ruled out a return to military intervention, focusing instead on establishing economic lifelines between the neighboring nations. According to a report by Lianhe Zhaobao, Moscow authorities announced that Russian forces intercepted and shot down dozens of drones targeting the capital early on Monday, June 22. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin stated on Telegram that nearly 60 drones heading toward Moscow were downed. Consequently, 4 major airports, Sheremetyevo, Domodedovo, Vnukovo, and Zhukovsky, were temporarily closed but later resumed operations. Meanwhile, the Russian Ministry of Defense reported that air defense systems intercepted a total of 301 drones overnight across all Russian-controlled regions. This latest aerial assault represents one of the largest attacks on Moscow since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine began in February 2022. It follows a series of Ukrainian drone strikes on Moscow's Sol oil refinery and other critical oil terminals, railways, and refineries in Krasnodar and Tyumen over the weekend. Concurrently, Russian ground offensives continued in Donetsk, where forces claimed control of over 100 buildings. In Ukraine, local officials reported that Russian overnight strikes resulted in at least 2 civilian deaths and 6 injuries. According to a report by Tate Bot Thai Sounds, a major shift has occurred in South Korea's stock market, driven by the explosive demand for artificial intelligence (AI) and memory chips. SK Hynix's market capitalization has surpassed Samsung Electronics for the first time in history. On June 22, data from the Korea Exchange, KRX, revealed that SK Hynix's market value reached 2,091 trillion won, approximately 43 trillion NTD, edging past Samsung's 2,090 trillion won. This landmark event shakes Samsung's 26-year-long status as the undisputed leader of the Korea Composite Stock Price Index, KSPE-SHIDE, a position it has held since 2000. Under the wave of global tech giants aggressively building AI data centers, memory chip demands and prices have surged. SK Hynix's stock price has soared by over 340% this year alone, significantly outperforming Samsung's 200% rise. In May, SK Hynix's market valuation breached the $1 trillion milestone, cementing its position alongside global peers like Micron Technology. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.